Nobody tells you when you start learning guitar that you're gonna have to stretch your fret hand into oblivion, that you're gonna have to cut your nails real short, and that you'll have blisters on the tips of your fingers for weeks. Welcome everyone to my channel here on YouTube. I've been in a bunch of bands over the years, but I'm starting a brand new project. But to put this project together, I have to learn some new skills, and one of those skills is learning the guitar, and I'm sharing that journey with you. When I was about 16, my sister taught me 2 chords, and then I didn't touch the guitar again after that afternoon. Then when I was 18, I went onto justinguitar.com and I learned another 2 chords, and then I saw the F chord and I was like, hell no. No, God! I then didn't have access to a guitar for about 8 years because I'd been pinching my dad's guitar. And when I moved out, I just didn't have a guitar around. So I was about 26 when I bought my first guitar, and I bought it off a musician I know called Ollie. It was a PRS SE Tremonti and I loved it. So shiny. Now, I didn't take any lessons and I didn't look anything up. I just sort of messed around and tried to work things out on my own. The one thing I learned while having this guitar is that bar chords are essentially like putting a capo. The bar acts as if it's a capo, and that unlocked a lot of things for me. As an example, I knew the E chord, which I was calling the A chord at the time. I was clueless. Anyway, I figured that if I put a capo here and did it the same frets away from where it would be at the beginning, I could get like a whole bunch of chords out of it, and that realization was really big for me. After a year, I sold that guitar, and that's my guitar history. And here I am today, refusing to work with musicians who do not share my vision, but also needing guitar on my new project. So I'm taking things seriously now, and this is where I'm at 1 month in. So I downloaded the Fender Play app. They give you a 14-day trial, so you can try before you buy, and I'd highly recommend this. I've learned so much already in just a month. And if you're curious about it, there is a link. So you can try it out free for 14 days. Sweet. I highly recommend it because I have learned so much within just a month, and I'm just going to show you how much I have learned in this video. This is my progress so far. Week 1, level 1. Found out I was holding my pick in an unconventional way. Apparently you're supposed to hold your pick like this with one finger. I've been holding it like this. So I'm going to change that. Refresh my memory on simple chords. Thank you. Thank you, Wembley. Attempted to learn the string names. Everybody get down and enjoy. Woo! Started to learn how to read tabs, but my brain kept thinking that they were the wrong way up, and so that's taken a little bit of time for me.
Congratulations on making it to the end of level 1. In level 1, you learned how to fret notes on different strings, pick notes across different strings. You also learned how to play and transition between the E minor, A minor, D, and the 1-finger G and C chords. Let's try an exercise to review what you've learned.
Week 2, level 2. Learnt the C major scale. Learnt the G major scale. Learn how to figure the name of any note along the neck. Now that I've done a bit of theory, I know that that's E, F sharp, G. There's the G string to prove it. That's theory, y'all. Got introduced to power chords. Week 3, level 3. I started slowing down at level 3 because I had a lot to learn. But my confidence and my familiarity with the instrument really started to soar in week 3. I learned some more power chords. And worked out why power chords were called the power chords that they were called. Week 4, I've finished level 3. Learn the E minor pentatonic scale. Figured out I'd already written a solo noodle with pentatonic already in it. And I played my first little solo over rhythm within the app. So that's a lot to learn in a month, and I don't want anyone to feel disheartened or discouraged if you have just picked up the guitar and started learning and you're not progressing this quickly, because first of all, this isn't the first time I've ever picked up a guitar, and that is a very different starting point to where you've sort of been noodling around for a little bit but you've never really been taking it seriously. This is just the first month of me taking the guitar seriously and really pushing, trying to learn. Also, I just have a lot of free time on my hands, and I do think I'm going to have to go back over some of the lessons and really solidify them in my brain. But I do think it does go to show how much you can learn if you really put your mind to it and have the time to invest in developing a new skill. My fingers are still getting sore, my transitions aren't as smooth as a Gillette advert, I hit bum notes all the time. But I'm so much further along than I would have been if I wasn't actively trying to progress with this skill. By the way, I've done all of this without actually owning an amplifier, and I don't even own the guitar. I borrowed it. So it doesn't have to break the bank to start a new skill. You don't have to have all the bells and whistles and all the equipment. If you can just get your hands on a cheap guitar or borrow one, you don't even have to have an amplifier to get started. So for those of you on a budget like me, have hope, it doesn't have to cost the earth. Alongside using the Fender Play app, which I do recommend because I've learned so much, and the link is still in the description if you want to try it out, I've continued noodling around, figuring out where stuff is, and getting into the habit of picking up the guitar every day just to play something. Figuring out tunes, melodies, picking up things by ear is all part of the process for me. You don't want to miss out on that joy, that spark of why you wanted to start playing, the feeling it gives you, the emotions you get when you listen to guitar, and how cool that is. If you're just starting out, I have 3 tips or recommendations, if you will, to help you get started. Number 1, find a way to learn that suits you. Whether that's an app, a website, or actually learning with a tutor in person, different people work differently, and so what works for one person might not work for you, and it shouldn't be a one-size-fits-all approach. And of course, you can mix and match these things. You can have lessons with a tutor, but also seek things out on your own. Number 2, be patient with yourself and your fingers. When you're moving your fingers in an entirely new way, it can hurt and it can be a bit uncomfortable, but 10 minutes a day can go a really long way. And number 3, persevere. I can do things today that 4 weeks ago I was finding absolutely impossible. So don't give up if you want this skill. Keep learning, keep progressing, and keep picking up your guitar often. It won't take too long for you to be able to look back just like I can and be impressed with your progress. And you should be impressed because it's a skill, it's hard work. But if you persevere, eventually it will pay off. Please like, subscribe, hit the comments section to add your tips on the end of this, because I'm sure there will be things that I've missed out. I'm still at the start of my journey, so I'm always very thankful for tips and thoughts from other people. Also, you can check out the full guitar playlist where I'm putting all the videos of me learning this guitar along the journey. I'm going to put that here, and you can see exactly where I was just 2 weeks ago in this video here. And I hope to see you next time.